23 past 10, sorry, check that, 24 past 10 a.m, 25.3 degrees downtown. Blew my score out of the water anyway. It's Wednesday, 18th of June, middle of the week too, by the way. Got to welcome everybody that's watching us live, if you are live, if not on YouTube, Facebook and everything like that later on today. Thank you for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. It really is, and believe me, absolutely fascinated with today's feature artist. Yes, we're talking to Jayko the Arkitekk, part two actually, because we did try this the first time round. We came to an agreement, well, maybe that's not a good idea for now. We're going to do it a little later on. Well, guess what? The later on has arrived and we're going to get it underway. Kicking it off, we better do this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and you know what to do, don't you? Sub, thumb, bell, yes, you know all of that. Bell notifications for when you get, you know, yeah, we need to give you those. Thumb, you know, like us a lot. Go on, subscribe while you're at it, okay? In the meantime, let's get it underway. Joining us live today is Jayko the Arkitekk, coming out of Laramie, Wyoming. Ain't about you, here on Galaxy. So that gives us a couple of minutes.
All right.
Last time we spoke, did I mention about putting you into a magazine?
You did.
I did. I still want to do that. Would you mind if we set that up?
I don't mind at all.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. They're coming out of Bangalore in India. And believe me, we only send the best of the best that we play here to those guys. So I'd be very, very honoured if we can jack that up for you. It's about a 6-page spread.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh dear, dear, dear.
I'm gonna share this the link to the station out so that people can at least listen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you the stats on how many people were listening on the interwebby thing on the radio, because we ping off all of their IP addresses, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'll give you those stats a little later on, but I got to warn you, we're in every country in the world, every English-speaking country anyway. Some that aren't. I don't know how that works, but I'll take it. I will. We have about a minute 20 to go. Ah, there she is.
Ta-da.
Hey, love
Yeah.
love the artwork. Can I have a quick squizzy?
This?
Yeah.
This is my memorial arm. It's got a lot of dead people on it.
Well, least we forget, my friend. Believe me. I had a girlfriend whose best friend was a dermatologist or a tattooist.
Yeah.
And it ended up both of them ran away to Sydney in Australia. So, oh well.
Oh.
That's right, you're right here. Excuse me. Right here at Galaxy 107 FM. And today we're in Laramie, Wyoming, catching up with a very good friend of ours. We've met her before. Her name is Jayko the Arkitekk. Welcome back to Galaxy, Jayko.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. I just got to turn you up a little bit. That way everybody else can hear you as well as me, if you know what I mean. Always a pleasure, my friend, and believe me, it's good to catch up with you again. And since the last time we met, I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to meet up with Bailey, but family deal, and you never can go without family, really. So you take care of family business first. Absolutely. Got to say hi to Caden Gordon as well, promoter extraordinaire, and thank you, KG. It's an absolute pleasure. Got something in my throat. Please excuse me. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen from time to time. Now, first of all, I got to say to you, ain't about you. Absolutely love this track. Kicked it off with it. Tell me a little bit about it.
So that song, like Morgan Wallen has Lies, Lies, Lies. And that song talks about all of the things that you think about at the end of the relationship and the hanging on that you do at the end of the relationship. But then, he says, but they're all lies. My thing was more, and actually I wrote About You before I had even heard the Morgan Wallen song. I was just driving down the interstate. I had was going through a breakup, just broke up. And, and all of the things were just running through my head. And I've written songs for people and done all these things for people. And I was just like, you know what, though? Like, I'm not writing you another song. This ain't your song. And so that's where it came from, just to say, and I don't care. No, I don't. And to get that part out of me,
Yeah, I absolutely understand. And something, for years now, and I've been in the game for maybe about twice your age, if you know what I mean.
I don't know, I'm kind of old, man.
Hey, listen, I was on the radio station on the Ark, all right? I was around that long, really was. For me, I hear music every day, and I talk to artists every day, literally. And for me, not only being an engineer, but a radio announcer, I know what I like, and I absolutely love the work. The work prior to us meeting, absolutely enjoyed that. This is another stratosphere again. This is stepping up by, millennia. It really is. And Ain't About You is a fantastic track. Really is. So I find with talking to a lot of artists, when you're highly emotionally charged, be it a breakup or anything else like that, is the best time that music comes around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Best time to write music. It really is. And I've had so many say, I was at my grandfather's funeral, and it was just something that the priest, the father, the person holding it, just mentioned one line that got me going, and before you know it, on the way home, I've written a new song. Now it's a #1 hit.
And that song was fun because I was going down the highway to bring my mom to the airport, and I just started like hearing something in my head, and then and she's listening to the radio while we're going down the road. So I actually wrote the lyrics in my phone while I was driving, but don't tell the police that. And once I got her dropped off at the airport, I started going through, the internet and different producers. That I like to work with certain producers a lot more than others, and like especially for country music or whatever. And so I find some music that I can put these lyrics to, but I'm like, it's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, how do I get this on a scratch pad when I only have my phone and I'm going down the interstate? And then I remembered that Snapchat records video while your music continues to play. And so that's how I laid that song down before I could get to the studio, so that I didn't lose the melody or anything. And so I recorded with Snapchat and kind of laid it down on a video, and then was able to go back and record it later. That was one of the more fun, like, writing moments that I've had.
Yeah, I love that creativity. I really do.
Yeah.
Believe me, Jayko has done a number of firsts with me, and that's a damn good one as well, I've got to be honest. But got to go somehow. Now, this track absolutely is killing it right now. You're getting about 1,751 requests since we've started playing it, so not too bad going. Tell me all about this track. How'd you come to the lyrics?
So Gotta Go Somehow is about finding what you love and letting it kill you, as the old saying goes. That was after that same breakup. I got a lot of good songs out of that breakup. But that one was just, just go ahead and take me, because we all got to go somehow. And if loving you is the death of me, just then let it be. And so I just I had that idea, and I kind of went from there and laid it down, and I mixed that one. It's not one of my better mixes, but I did. But it was all done in one day. I laid it down, mixed it, and got it out in one day. But that's what that song is about.
You know something? Believe me, being in the game for about 47 years as not only a front of house engineer, but also a studio engineer, I couldn't tell that it wasn't a professional job, I got to be honest with you, so well done.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're talking to Jayko the Arkitekk. Got to go somehow. Do you mind if I turn that device off just now? Be right back, hold on a sec. It's getting warm in here. There we go.
I had to turn the heating off.
Yeah, it's getting warm in here now. It really is.
It's not. It's
Gosh,
either,
what a busy day
he
we've got
either
today.
says I'm too hot or I'm too cold.
Yeah, absolutely. Kiwis are only happy 3 days either side of summer. Yeah, it's either too wet, too hot, or too cold. We're never happy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like the weather we're having right now, wait a couple of hours, it'll change.
Yeah.
Really. I told you the story about the bunny, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Did I tell you the story about the clogs?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, fair enough. Did I ask you if you're a vegan?
I am not.
You're not. Okay, you like meat like me?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I mention that is simple. You see, for about 11 years since I've been doing this job with this company, I've been trying to come to the bottom of a myth. Really. Have you ever tried a vegan sausage?
I am not.
No? Yeah, you see, the myth is, I'm trying to figure out whether they're made of real vegans or not.
There you go. I bet you it's only made of real vegans somewhere in the Amazon.
Yeah. Hey, they got good taste.
Yeah.
We here in New Zealand, it was in the news this morning, the Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or the SPCA, right? In
Right.
England, the RSPCA. Today they're attacking the government. They're always having a bit of a moan and a groan, but this time they're defending the farmers. They're saying that they want to ban round hay bales. They don't think.
Wow.
Yeah, well, they don't think the animals are getting a square meal.
Oh, nice.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're in Laramie, Wyoming. It's been a while since we've been in Wyoming. Haven't been to Laramie before, so nice to be there. Thank you for entertaining us here at Galaxy 107 FM. And sorry about that. It's something that I do every now and again, is I'll throw something humorous in there. So you never know, you might just find yourself laughing and then go, the hell was I laughing at? So believe me, you'll get the video a little later on, and you'll remember the jokes. You know, even if you want to use them later on, please do enjoy them. I don't mind, I really don't. And what's the temperature over there right now? You guys are coming into summer, aren't you?
We are, but right now it's back down to about 60. It
Okay.
rained a little bit today. We had a little tornado a couple of miles from the house. We're having a good time.
Okay, well, nothing like it. No, I'm not even going. No, I'm not going to say that. No, not at all. 48 degrees here at the moment. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's quite comfortable outside. It really, really is. It started off at below zero earlier on this morning, so it was nippy, to say the best, really. But you know something, when I'm sitting in here listening to nothing at all, basically, well, I got to be honest with you, I'm no good on my own. I'm really not.
Oh, me neither.
No, mate. Well, I know you wrote a song about it. You better tell me about this.
So that song, I was very single and had been for quite a while, and you know I was just sitting in this empty house, and I was just like, I'm not no good out here by myself, you know, and then that's where it came, no good on my own, and so I found some music to put it to. I had the idea and found some music, and that song just poured out. I probably wrote that song in about 5 minutes, but then I went into the production end of it. I got some live musicians to work on it, and then sent it off to Mr. William Bowser, who very lovingly put a choir on it, and it turned into just a very, very beautiful production. It's something that I could have never done on my own without Will, and I absolutely love the song. I love the concept of the song. You know, it speaks to the person that feels loneliness and that feels alone in the world, and you know, feels like the world is just coming down on them, and that they're their own worst enemy all the time. And you know, so that's where that song came from, was just what was going on in my head, because you know we've all got a pack of thoughts that never do us any favors, and so that's where that whole song came from.
I absolutely love that. That's very deep indeed. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined by Jayko the Arkitekk. Yeah, it's no good on my own.
Yeah, that's a nice track. Do you guys play the version with the choir, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Because I have a stripped down version. That's just a version without the choir.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we got both versions. Not sure. So I'm not sure which one the boys have put through.
Yeah, I usually send them both and then let people choose from them. But
Yeah, absolutely. I know exactly what you mean about being no good on my own. Let me tell you something. When I was younger, I got kicked out of my town. Literally. The police says, you're either going to go to court or you're going to get the hell out of here. Right? I was a bad boy back in those days.
yeah,
And
I hear you.
I ended up at my auntie's place, who says, listen, you're not staying here unless you've got a job, right? So she got me a job as a gopher, make coffee, do stuff in a radio station, when the radio announcer one night had appendicitis, which left the station completely empty except for me. Now, I thought maybe I could, you know, either go home or I'm going to sit here and see this through, you know, until the next announcer comes in. I chose the latter, and I sat there, did the job. Unfortunately, you see, at the time my boss was sitting down to dinner, he had his sister and her new husband down for their honeymoon, and nobody goes to Greymouth in the South Island to go for a honeymoon. It's just not the thing you'd ever think of. Maybe Hawaii, but not Greymouth. You know what I mean? And they come up, and he was all upset about it until I explained what was going on. The new husband comes up and says, "I'll keep you company, show you what to do." Unbeknownst to me, he was the #1 DJ in the country at the time, right? And at the end of the show, he sent me off to go to radio school or university. But I realised in between the time of the DJ leaving and these guys turning up, which I was actually happy to see, even though he was angry, I realised, Jesus, I hope I'm okay doing this. I'm no good by myself. You know, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I could fully relate to all of that. Helps if you turn the thing on, apparently. Thank you guys for reminding me of that. I was thinking about the little story I was just saying to Jayko about back in the day, and how basically I got into radio thinking I was absolutely no good by myself. Well, I wasn't, you know. First time, seeing how they did it, never sat in the seat before. Suddenly you're in a radio station all by yourself. What are you going to do? You either make it or you break it. Well, I didn't bolt for the door, let's put it that way. It was a bit of a rebel in me, maybe. Yeah, just a bit of a rebel, I think, and sooner or later I ended up here. There you go. Now, today we're in Laramie, Wyoming. I haven't been to Laramie. Tell me, what's a little bit about Laramie that would stand out to me?
Probably the views. We got some very beautiful mountains here, and some really great people here. It's very, but we're situated between two mountain ranges, and so we got some real pretty scenery. Yeah.
Very, very nice. Believe me, I'm right into discovering very, very pretty places to go and have a look at. You know what I mean? So because very, very shortly I'm going to be heading into a country pretty much. That is going to be anything but pretty. It's going to be, if anything, dusty. You know what I mean?
It's dusty here too. It's very dry.
Oh, okay.
But it is very beautiful. The prettiest thing here is Bailey, but you can't have her.
Yeah, no, believe me, I fully understand that. I really, really do. And you know, even though I've never seen her, met her, or even I'm jealous. Okay, so you're lucky. Okay, there you go. One for Bailey. Now, we're heading to India, you see, so it's going to be very hot and dry and dusty over there. So what an adventure that's going to be. Really, it is. Again, it's the rebel in me, I think, you know.
Sounds like it.
Small country here in New Zealand. We have a populace of about 5 million people, and that's pretty much what we have on an hourly basis on our stats, to be honest with you. So, but we have about maybe, I don't know, 75 million sheep as well. We have a whole lot of sheep, we really do. But we decided to take on the biggest country in the world. In fact, they came to us and said, "We like what you do. How about coming over to our country, setting up a few radio stations, you know? What's the harm in it?" So, yeah, we got the contract with 12 radio stations in India, and I'm looking forward to getting it underway. Hopefully later on today we'll actually have a bank account. That's all that's holding us up right now. It's a damn bank account. We've gone through hoops to get one. Hopefully today we're going to do it. We're meeting the manager of the bank, so we'll see what he has to say for himself now. You know what I mean?
Good luck, man, and congratulations. That's huge.
Well, we had to set up a business, a registered business. We've done that. We had to get a building to give them an address. We did that. Now all we need is a bank account so that we can get a visa, a business visa, and get our tushies over there and start getting to work and training staff, educating people, and entertaining at the same time. Now, the great thing about that as well is we're doing a deal with a company over there that have the rights to all the universities and colleges over there. So there's our target market right there. You know what I mean? And what they want shows, they want festivals, they want the whole enchilada, and well, we do it. We do shows over there already. We do the magazine, and now we're doing radio, moving into television too, by the way, but we're not going to open that can just yet, but we have got eyes on that as well. So believe me, we're going to be pretty much cornering the market as much as we can, simply because, and it is quite true, the young folks, well, they think that Bollywood is for their parents and their grandparents. They want something Western, they want something new, they want something fresh. And you never know, Jayko, you might find yourself on a stage, not too distant future, somewhere, somehow, in some city in India.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. And Barbara and I were actually talking about that a little earlier on this morning. And I said, you know, it's a possibility. And I tell you why. Barbara wants to do a all-lady festival. And I'm 100% behind it. Absolutely love that. When we've been over there, we've done shows over there, we've sent bands over there. They've done a lot, I mean a lot of shows over there with our bands. So they've all been pretty much male. Pretty much, you know what I mean? So we think, why not do a complete female show? And I think that would be an absolute splendid idea. So when we get over there, I'm going to talk to our board over there, see if we can set something up in the not too distant future. And you never know, Barbara might be on the hooter to you saying, hey Jayko, how would you like to hop on a plane? Have you got your passport? We'll pay for everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Get you over there.
Passport to be a little bit of a sticky ordeal because I am a rebel.
Okay. Well, food for thought.
We'll figure that out, though.
Yeah, food for thought. You never know. We might be able to find a few back doors for you. You never know what might happen. Talking about being a rebel. Up next, tell me about this track.
So I was writing a bunch of sad songs, and you know, I'm a very emotional writer, and I said, you know what? I'm tired of. I want to write something that'll just kick you right in the teeth. I want something because I'm a badass, and people are badasses, and I love country music, and grew up. You know, I grew up right by New Orleans, down on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, way in the South, and so I grew up on country music, and I was just like, you know, I want to do something different. And so I just sat down with the idea that I wanted something that was just going to knock through something. And that's what I came up with. I came up with Rebel, you know. And that song pretty much wrote itself. The most difficult part about that song was all of the vocals. There's a lot of vocals on it. There's a lot of moving parts on it. And for I do all of the vocals on my tracks except for Bailey did some vocals on He Sent You, part of the choir, and of course Bailey is on one of my best songs. But other than that, every other vocal that you'll hear, with the exception of No Good on My Own, we'll put that choir on there. But I wanted to give it some really good elements and build it out to where it was just enough to stomp your teeth down your throat. And so, I mean, and I think that's what being a rebel is all about. So I wanted that song really, really big, and that's where it ended up. That's a very, very big song.
Well, I tell you how big it is. Jayko, it's not often that I change the playlist in my car at all. I'm very, very protective of the music that I listen to. I put Rebel in. I really, really have. I enjoy this track, and I know you guys that are listening right now, you're going to enjoy it as well. Here's Jayko the Arkitekk joining us live with Rebel. How you feeling, buddy?
Oh, I'm good. How are you feeling?
Oh, nervous.
Why nervous?
Because I'm in front of a professional. Come on. Honestly. I asked you about if I had told you about the clogs, right?
Right.
Let me tell you, I used to be a lead engineer for a band that came out of Australia with 4 letters to it, and it's not AC/DC, all right? I have worked with AC/DC and absolutely have friends that are in and have been in AC/DC, but it wasn't them. Anyway, we were in Austin, Texas one weekend, and we decided, we got invited, all of our staff and everything, to go to a place where we were doing boot scooting or line dancing and stuff like this, you know what I mean? Thought, great, and we all got involved into it, had a jolly good time. And then a day or so later, we were on the plane and we ended up in Amsterdam. Now, we used to have valets, right? And they didn't want you to do anything except for what they wanted you to do, like go to the museums and be seen there, or the art galleries, and go to openings of stuff, and, you know, be with the mayors and dignitaries of the cities, stuff like that. So we used to try and ditch these guys. Okay. Get the hell out. We want to go and see what the town's like, you know, without...
Right.
So we're in Amsterdam and we're on these boats, these barges, having soups and all sorts of burgers and all sorts of wonderful food that was made out of really funny plants, right? And I got the chance to ditch my guy, and I went running across this cobblestone park, if you want to call it that. It had a big fountain and statues and all sorts of things, and I went running past a very ancient church and spotted this door. There was a red door, and, you know, I went through the red door and up the stairs, and at the top of that it said country dancing. I thought, sweet, go and get a boot scooting on, and I bolted in there to find about 200 people in native garb, all brightly coloured, all wearing wooden shoes on a highly polished wooden floor. I had to wait and see if this was going to be a catastrophe or not, right? And suddenly a young blonde lady, I will tell you this last bit in a sec. Ah yes, caught me halfway through a joke. Let me just clean that one up. Walked through the door, hundreds, and I mean literally hundreds, of national people, I think, you know, doing this dance in clogs, literally, with traditional clothing on. Gosh, it was beautiful. It really, really was. But they were doing it so fast on a highly polished floor, I thought, you know, the carnage is about to happen any time now. Really, really is. So I just stood there for a minute when this young lady, she couldn't have been more than 18 years of age, blonde, blue eyes, in this beautiful dress, everything. She comes up and she looks at me and she goes, "Do you clog?" Being a Kiwi, I says, "No, only if I have too much cheese." Obviously, I didn't get invited in. She actually says, "Oh, this is a private session, thank you very much," and I left. You know what I mean? But yeah, it stood out. Believe me, it was absolutely hilarious. Now, Jayko, unfortunately, I really, really would have loved to have been able to meet, I'm not going to say your better half, but I am going to say your other half, Bailey, because I'm very, very interested not only in your voice, but this young lady can sing.
Yes, she is by far my better half. She is, she's the best half that I've ever had, you know. And yes, she can sing. She can do anything. And listen, she does a lot of it better than me. Guarantee you.
I think that's debatable. I do think that's debatable. You know, seen I'm only subject to snippets sometimes of her quality. And I can pick her out in different songs. Believe me, we were talking about choirs and everything like that, you know what I mean? I'm listening, you know, I've got that ear for it. Being a former engineer myself, I like to be able to get into the engineer's mind, basically, on how they structured every song, That way I can reverse engineer it and understand how it's been done. You know what I mean? It's just one of these curses I think all engineers go through at some stage. And if you've got that curse, you're an engineer, I feel sorry for you. It never goes away. It's like riding a bike.
And I know that some of them probably have to. I don't know if they like working with me or not, because I am an engineer as well, and so, you know, I like to leave songs open so that engineer has a chance to put I don't send references, and so the guys that work on these songs, I have Mitch Furr out in Nashville, and Mike Mansour, Mr. Daniel Shores, who masters a lot of these for me, Mr. William Bowser, and Adam Miles Brooks, otherwise known as Dub 3030. He's out in Nashville. I like to send them a raw product and let them have that fingerprint on it, you know. But then what I'll do is I'll go in and fine tune it, and I'll say, well, can you do this and can you do that, and let's put this kind of effect over here and this, and push these vocals over here back, or whatever, you know. But I like for them to have that personal touch on it. Plus, you know, what I always want to hear may not always be what's best for that song, because I'm going to be biased toward my song. So I like to do that. I like to leave some of those things in the engineer's hands, and, you know, kind of let go of that part of it, because, you know, I'm a vocalist first, and so I've already poured so much into the song, from the writing to the emotion, and then into the vocals, which are work. Vocals are a lot of work. Well, as many vocals as I do. And, you know, so at that point, sometimes when I've got a lot of vocals crammed in there, and choirs and harmonies and everything else, I'm just like, you know what? It's time to let this go, because I've done my work on it.
You know, absolutely, fully understand, especially coming from the engineer side of me as well. I mean, for 47 years of being an engineer, not only front of house, but studio as well. And believe me, I've worked in some of the best, not only here in New Zealand, but around the world. Really have. I do have to ask you, I have a young lady by the name of Roberta, who's coming out of, would you believe, North Carolina, and she's saying,
Nice.
As a fan, Jayko, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on TikTok? Are you, you know, do you respond?
Yes. So, and my TikTok got hacked, so now I have to go start a new page, and it'll be just Jayko the Arkitekk. But I have a website, which is just jaykothearkitekk.com. You can Google me. It'll pull my socials, but I'm branded, so anywhere that you look, it'll be Jayko the Arkitekk. On Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, as soon as I get that TikTok back up and running today. But yes, I answer. I love to talk to people. I love to hear about them, and you know what I mean? Because I make music. I don't make music to be famous. I make music for the connection, you know, because music is the one medium, right, that of art that is universal, because not everyone collects paintings, not everyone goes to museums and admires statues or things like that, but everyone listens to music.
Very, very cool.
You know, and I want to be able to be for someone else what other artists were for me, to be the voice that I didn't have, to tell me the thoughts that I thought, you know, were wrong to have, and be able to feel more comfortable in my own mind, in my own heart, in my own skin, by knowing that someone else has the same experiences, someone else feels the same way and thinks the same things. Like, that's my goal, is to be able to connect with the people that listen to my music.
Very cool. Now, I got a young man by the name of Matty coming out of Dublin City, Dublin. He wants to know, Jayko, do you have a merch store? How do I buy a cap, a t-shirt, and a koozie?
So I had a merch store, and I need to get one back up and running, and I will try to do that by the end of next week. I have a gentleman at Legit Decisions Printing. His name is Nick Gilbertson, and if anyone wants merch, you can always ask him for Jayko merch. He will know exactly what you're talking about, and he can take care of you until we can get that Shopify up and running.
Very cool. Well, I'll tell you what, when you do get your Shopify up, how would you like to send me a t-shirt with your brand on it? I'd be more than honoured to be able to do that. Unfortunately, I'm wearing company thing today. You know, but usually,
I'd love to. I'd love to.
And believe me,
we do. I got some right here too. I have shirts. They're not in here in the room with me, but this is some of the work that he does. So it'll have either, you know, my middle finger logo, or he does the embroidered, just Jayko.
I love those. I love both of those, to be honest with you. That's good work. It is.
I can get you a hat and a t-shirt, no problem. I'll take care of you.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, I'll get Barbara to send you the details. Fortunately, you see, I'm a man. I have no idea what I am. You know what I mean? With Barbara, well, she only just takes one look at me and goes, this is your size, really. We're on hold. There we go. We're back again.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Somebody trying to get hold of you.
Yes, sir. I had a call.
Grant. Please, Grant. Sir, I haven't been knighted yet, but it's going to happen one day. It really is. So, we're going to come to the end of the show right after this, but I am so very, very happy to say that 2109 requests for There You Were. Now, believe me, this one's featuring Bailey, and I think, yeah, better let us in on what makes this so damn good.
So, when Bailey and I found one another, it's been very magical. It's been very much a story of whimsy and serendipity. There are just so many alignments and so many things that one would call coincidence if one believed in coincidence, but I don't. I believe in divinity, and I believe in the universe, and that everything is by design and nothing happens by accident. And so when we found one another, and I found out that she sang, and heard her sing, I was in awe. You know, she's got the sweetest voice, the sweetest personality. She's got the most beautiful soul and mind. And I just wanted to do a duet with her. And she was like, absolutely, let's do a duet. So I go cruising through music, and that song started playing. And I kind of got the chorus in my mind, and was able to write it as a duet. And so, like, really the whole thing, like I said, coincidence, whimsy, serendipity, whatever you want to call it. And so, excuse me, I got the chorus laid out as a duet. I could hear like both parts of it. And so I bring it home to her, and she writes her verse, and I wrote my verse. And then we got in the studio and, you know, recorded parts and came up with the bridge on the fly, and we sent that off. That went to Dub 3030 in Nashville, and he rearranged it for me some. We had to do a little rearranging on it, reworking it, but I mean, he did such a beautiful job on that song. She has done an amazing job on that song and in my life. But that song is about us finding one another, you know, because I was ready to give up on love. She was ready to give up, you know, on love. And then just there we were. There we were.
You know, Jayko, strangely enough, you find love when you're not looking for it most.
Absolutely. And everybody told me that. And you know, I had finally started into a point of my life where I knew, and well, not knew, but began to believe and began to speak it into existence, that the things that I wanted were already mine, and the things that were seeking me were seeking me as well. But I don't know if I necessarily believe that until she walked into my life. And it has been, you know, she and I, we get along. We, you know, we don't really have hard times. I mean, loving her is the easiest thing that I've ever done. And in every other relationship, there was always so much work, but this is what it's always been and what it's always supposed to be. And, you know, there's nothing else outside of that. And so, I mean, serendipity, whimsy, all of those things, divine timing, yada, yada, but a miracle is what she is.
There you go. Much respect to you. Here, joining us live is Jayko the Arkitekk. There you were. Gosh. So we'll wrap it up after this, but please don't go anywhere because Barbara and the crew here want to take a couple of pickies. We're going to put it all into a movie for you, and you'll probably receive that tomorrow at some stage. But it will go up pretty much instantly onto YouTube.
Yeah, I'll get YouTube.
Within a couple of minutes. Now, having said that, my friend, have you ever been a cartoon before?
I have, I've used some filters.
Okay. You might be one again.
I know what you're talking about too. That's your favorite
Oh,
cartoon.
well, no, it's just that Barbara likes to make fun of me, I'm sure of it. She says I got one of those faces for radio. Let's make fun of it. Stop shaking your head, you do. You make fun of me, don't you, Barbara?
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but
And
I
it's
look
fun.
funny.
Tell you what is really weird though, Jayko. Barbara and I were in a city called Rotorua, which is about, you know, an hour away from here, maybe about 45 minutes. We'd gone to a lawyer's, we'd had to go to a notary to get some legal stuff done for this forming of a company in India. And my car was parked in this car park where I looked up and there was a supermarket there. So I thought, well, you know, hold on, I'll go and buy some supplies for dinner tonight. I'll take them home for the wife, and all will be good. So I whipped into the supermarket and I whipped around, got everything I needed, got into the checkout line, and there was this little old lady there and she's staring at me. And staring at me. And it got to the point, you know, where you smile, you say hello, it's getting uncomfortable now. You know what I mean?
All right.
And all the cans are going through and she's still staring at me and I says, hello. She goes, hello. I said, can I help you? And she goes, you look nothing like your cartoon. Now I'm thinking, now how random is this? For a start, I'm in a strange city, in a strange shop, being served by a strange person with a strange lady. What? I said, my cartoon. She goes, yes. I mean, how do you know about my cartoon? She goes, my daughter is an avid follower of you. And I went, oh. So,
nice.
I signed her checkout stub.
Nice.
Her receipt, I signed that for her. But I thought, how random is that? So those cartoons that she does works. They do. That's right, you're right here at galaxy107fm, and today we're talking to Jayko the Arkitekk coming out of Laramie, Wyoming, and it's such a pleasure to be able to talk to this young, talented artist. It really, really is. Now, Jayko, I've got to ask you just a couple more before we wind this up. Do you have anything in the can coming up in the very near future?
I do, actually. It's going to be a little party song. It's going to come out probably in a couple of weeks here with one of my buddies, Mark Gorson. It's called Friday Night, and it's a song about getting together, building a bonfire, throwing a few back, and having some fun on your Friday nights.
You know, just wondering, would you pass that to us? Can we play that
Absolutely.
too? Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So my last question, Jayko, is will you come back for another interview in the near future?
Absolutely. I'll be here anytime that you guys want me to be here. I admire you guys so much, and I appreciate y'all so much, and I love what y'all are doing, and y'all show so much love and support to us independent artists, man, that, and look, anytime.
Well, I got to be honest. Barbara gets about 200 submissions a day, so we got to be very, very selective on who we're playing here. We can only do so many interviews and play so much within a month period, you know what I mean? So we've got to be very selective, and 200 a day is phenomenal. So only the best get through, and we do play the best indie artists here at Galaxy, that I promise you. And then we pass the best of the best onto the Lazy Indie magazine, and believe me, 6-page spread too, by the way. We'll figure out how we're going to get everything together for you right after this, but I've got to say thank you so much for joining us here today. It's been an absolute pleasure. So Miss Bailey, I would love to meet her in the near future, and I think that's a young lady that's going to go a long way with you, and I congratulate you both for being successful artists. I really, really do. Looking forward to meeting you in the near future. In the meantime, hang in there, my friend. For everybody else, thank you for watching this today. Why not join myself and Barbara tomorrow morning between 5:30 in the morning and 10 for the breakfast show, 110% Galaxy artists, 100% best in the world. Join us then. In the meantime, happy radio, everyone.